Don't let us get one. Don't let us get one. Don't let us get one. Lakers coming back down 3-0, starting to come back now. Everybody counted us out. They wrote us off and all that.
They counted us out. We counted us out.
We kind of saw, but until it's over, Lakers found a way to hold on and get the victory in Game 4 to fight back in this series and keep this series going for a little bit longer. And we'll see if they can continue beyond this Game 5 coming up on Monday night. So very fun things going on right now. Appreciate y'all for tuning back in as always. Make sure you show love on LA Sports Report. Currently getting our YouTube still figured out for those that are tuning in, but still active on IG and other places. Make sure you tapped in there. Subscribe to Section 300 across all platforms. You can see our acts below as well. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff's on the way. But love for one night at least, you can say love what we saw from the Lakers in a way, coming out victorious versus Nuggets in Game 4. Alec, you said you didn't get to see it, so I'll go on a quick tangent. Just impressive that we were able to hold on to a lead. There was a graphic shown where we've been up for like 114 minutes in the series, whatever it is, and we have like a 42 point differential in the first half, and get up early on these guys and find ways to what seems like set the tone. But instead, in the second half, Denver responds back and kicks it into high gear and has, in the first 3 games, been able to recover and steal victories from us in each of those matchups. This time around, we set the tone early, and there were a lot of folks that were saying, I was tweeting at you and Vic and guys like, hey, I think this is the one. And Vic's like, shut up, man, I don't want to hear it. And y'all were ignoring me, all that kind of stuff. But they actually found the ways to actually hold on and get the job done through the end. And what went into that was just, it seemed like they found ways to limit the heads of the horse, or wherever the analogy is, in regards to Jamal Murray and Jokic just a little bit, as well as the shooting across the board for the Nuggets. Obviously was not as impactful as it has been in the first 3 matchups. So a lot of good play across the board from our guys. Also, another very notable thing that's been people have been paying attention to in each game. It was a very bad game again for D'Lo in Game 4 or Game 3. He had a bounce back game yet again in Game 4 to help us get the victory here. And his play, I guess. That what was the thing we had for AD last year, where it was like every other game he played well? Whatever that name was for AD last year.
I forget what it was.
D'Lo, and now he had a good game, and hopefully he sheds that and can actually have another good game in Game 5 as well. But just a quick note, good stuff across the board. It seemed like we were able to overcome Darvin Ham trying to hold us back at times and still get the job done. I'm just being honest with what we saw. It seemed like there were times when they were like, this lineup shouldn't be out here, or guys were kind of lost at times, and still plays were able to be made to allow us to hold on to the victory as need be. So good performance. Glad we got the victory. Caught us all by surprise. We've had our jokes on here plenty already. So very cool to see us get one. Folks have been talking about how it's where'd it go? We're 0-149 overall record of NBA teams when trailing 3-0. But if anybody can do it, it's this man right here. So it's time for him to lock in. And if he still has any magic left, you know what Chilltown says, can you give me one more? Just one more. Can you show me one more time? And we'll see if LeBron and these guys can find a way to do the impossible at the moment and steal this series somehow from Denver. Any thoughts from you, Alec, on what you haven't seen going on with the Lakers in Game 4?
Yeah. So to give a little context, I think I texted you before the game, like, I'm not watching this, man. I'm going to the movies with the homie. Y'all be easy.
You on the Challengers?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's a whole other tangent we could go on. But I already know how this series is going to end up. I don't need to see the Lakers funeral tonight. Let me just hit the movies with the homie and have a good Saturday evening. But when I came out, I think it was into the third quarter, Lakers were up 10. I was like, okay, I've seen this movie before. I'm not going to say they're winning this. And then I checked it again. It was like 5 minutes left, and they were up 15. I was like, oh, okay. Like they showed a little fight tonight.
Yeah.
We're able to close the job tonight. So pleasantly surprised by that. I think the thing that stuck out to me just from box score watching was the efficiency from the 4 other starters, all 20 plus. And that's something like we talked about we have those guys that can get 20, like Reeves or D'Lo or Rui, but haven't consistently done it. And that's kind of been the issue in this series. Those guys haven't consistently done that. But for them to put it together in the same game between Reeves and D'Lo is great to see. Hopefully, that's something that they can continue in game 5. But yeah, it was great to see the box score kind of spread out evenly like that. And of course, like AD has continued to be aggressive and dominant, and you see that with how he was able to clean the glass with 23 boards there. And then LeBron has been great in the series as well, quietly too. So great to see them put forth the full 48-minute effort and finally get that monkey off their back in Denver. It's 11 games straight losing is tough. So they finally got that out of the equation, and now, as LeBron said, can just focus on this one game.
Are you being delusional like some fans and going all in and saying Lakers in 7 now, or you think that the Nuggets still find a way to hold on to this as the series goes on?
I'm not fully on board with Lakers in 7. I think the Nuggets are still the best team in basketball. That's not to say that the Lakers, like I said Nuggets in 5, like to start this series. Like I thought the Lakers could get a game. It was looking dicey though. Right. But I thought they could get a game, but I don't see much more than that. Like I think you can tell me a little bit more. Like I don't think Denver necessarily like took the Lakers lightly. I think the Lakers put forth the effort and won that game, took that game. But I do think Denver on their home floor is going to come out with the sense of urgency to kind of put this team away because they should feel like they're the better team because they are the better team and have proven so. And it's hard to replicate what the Lakers did in terms of all 4 of them being 20 plus in that game. Like it's great that they were able to do that, but that's kind of hard to replicate. So.
Real quick, it technically should be hard to replicate, but as I've pointed out, we've been up big in all these games.
Yeah.
So yes, obviously adjustments are made, and we've seen why we've lost the games in the second halves of the first 3. But we also in this game it appeared that we set the tone early, and the focus was just maintained the whole way through to not allow this Nuggets squad to make their own adjustments and counter and make the jumps that they have made in past games to reclaim leads as they have. Seeing like I said, D'Angelo having his 21 points, Austin, as you pointed out, also having 21, and others hitting timely shots when called upon as well. All of that I think can be things that continue if this team stays locked in and. I honestly, it seemed like they, in games in the past, had just gotten too lax, and I know obviously the Nuggets made adjustments themselves as well that could be dissected, and I'm sure after the series, LeBron will have his pod doing X's and O's about it. But just in simple terms, it seemed like this squad was like, we're not going home today. Like we want to find a way to hold on however we need to and truly put out whatever effort they could to get the job done. And if that mentality can be maintained the rest of the way, anything is possible. So realistically, I fully understand, and I've already said my take about where I thought the series was going to go originally. I share my thoughts on that. But for the sake of entertainment, hey, I'll lean to the delusion and root for it. And if I'm wrong, I hold the L, but I held the L in entertaining fashion. So it is what it is. But I do think there's a way to at least hold on past game 5 as well. Just especially seeing that Jamal Murray was hobbled in towards the end of game 4 as well. Excuse me. And how they were able to. I don't want to say neutralize him because again
he's struggled shooting the ball throughout the series.
Neither him or Jokic were neutralized, but when it was time for them to make big plays at the end of the game, the Lakers found ways to control that both with him and with all these guys. It's an interesting thing. You look at stats, and it's like you see Michael Porter had 27, you see Jokic had 33, and Jamal had 22, and it's a very similar stat line to what we've seen throughout this series. However, the crunch time stats were there. I think they like in game 3 where they hit the buzzer beater or wherever that was, game 2. They said that they had like a perfect wherever that stat was, saying how they were essentially perfect in crunch time of that game, leading to the buzzer beater and all of that. It seemed like things did not go their way at the end of this game as well. And just me being smart in those moments, what was the real difference from them? Because there were moments they surely could have flipped the switch, but the Lakers found ways to hold on. So, yeah, it's not fully about the stat sheet, as impressive as it is on both sides. It's really just maintaining to that fourth quarter, and then making the smart plays and the right plays, both with the players on the court and the coaches not being dumb. There are folks making all kinds of comments about Darvin Ham and his decision making with calling it challenges and stuff like that. Just being smart with all of our pieces down the stretch. That really is the difference. So very excited to see how this game 5 goes, and yeah, I think it's going to be another fun one.
Yeah. So you think the Lakers can take this next one?
I think they can. Yeah, again, it not fully putting it all on.
How you lagged for a second.
Not putting on any person, but just as we talked about, if we can continue to get help beyond LeBron and AD, and we can get D'Lo being that third option as we hoped he would be, and Reeves being similar, I think those two making their shots. It's like if they make shots, we're in good shape. If they don't make shots, we're bound to blow the lead at some point. So it comes down to them. I know shooting's a little bit easier at home. So going to Denver again is going to be able to switch up. So hopefully they can maintain so we can get another victory in here and keep this series going a little bit longer. So yeah, I do think it's possible.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll stay tuned with it for sure. Any other comment on that you wanted to make?
I was just gonna say, like, Rui's had a real quiet series, and I'm glad like he was efficient in this last game. He was 4 for 8, but I know there's only so many shots that could go around. But like, I'd like to see him be the more aggressive Rui that like we have seen in the past.
What they call him? They call him some version of Kawhi at some point early on when he first signed. Like, oh, he looked like could be a little Kawhi clone or something. Got a little ahead of ourselves, but he don't got any of that. But there have been moments where, and we just saw Reeves and D'Lo putting up 21 points. There have been games in the past where Rui might have had 17 right along with them as well. We'd love to see that. So yeah, if he can get active again too, that helps out with whatever may be lacking throughout the rest of the lineup.
And then I believe Christian Wood is supposed to be active for this next game coming up as well too. So that's another size option, I guess, for Darvin Ham to utilize. Yep. I don't know if that's good or bad that he now has another option off the bench in terms of figuring out rotations, but size, just throwing bodies at Jokic is definitely another plus. So another element there for that game 5 potentially.
Yeah, very excited for it all. Going to be a fun one. We'll surely have more reaction once the game takes place, and make sure you're tapped into the stream because it's going to be a good one. So, yeah, fun stuff on that end. I think we addressed all the stuff with the Lakers that I wanted to get to. Another series going on. We're playing close into 2 though, as the Clippers and the Mavs, and they just had a very fun game 4 that happened just earlier today. It was a battle, surprisingly. Actually, Clippers got up big earlier, up I think as much as 31 at that point. Paul George was running around mocking what happened in game 3, mocking PJ Washington, crossing his arms at the scuffle that PJ and Russ got into and all kinds of stuff. And it seemed like it was going to be smooth sailing for the Clippers for a moment. But Kyrie turned up, Luka turned up a little bit, and that whole squad fought back. And it ended up being a game that came down to the wire with the Clippers finding a way to hold on in that and get the job done, winning the game 116 to 111, tying up the series. Did you watch this one? And do you think the Clippers you think the Clippers regain full control of this series with this victory?
I did watch this one. It was a great game. As you said, there was a huge swing. I mean, the Clippers came out firing. I think Paul George was on a mission after having only 7 points in the previous game and getting into foul trouble. He just came out firing, hitting 3 after 3 and aggressively looking for his shot, hitting contested shots as well too. But they got off to a really hot start in that first half. Really seemed to have full control of it. But you knew that the Mavericks would make a run. Like, basketball is a game of runs, and they're not just going to lay down in the playoffs. When especially you have 2 superstar offensive gods in Kyrie and Luka. You expect them to make a comeback, but they made it dicey for the Clippers. But once it came fourth quarter, it came winning time. The system, James Harden came to play, man. 15 points in the fourth. He was just float gaming them to death, like draining down the clock, taking a one-on-one and hitting them with the floater. It was like 4 straight possessions of that. And Paul George hit timely buckets, had a crazy fadeaway 3 from the corner. And yeah, I mean, the stars came to play when it was crunch time and they needed to seal the victory. They got star play from their star players. So in terms of your question, if they've taken full control of it, I don't think so. I think I'm still sticking with this really feels like a heavyweight bout where I think it's going to go back and forth. And I think it's going to be Clippers in 7. I think it's a 7-game series. I will say it's been nice to see that they've been able to win these games without Kawhi too. Like both their wins came in games without Kawhi. And that's not to say they're better without him. No chance in hell. Healthy Kawhi.
I was going to ask right now with him being hobbled, is he in a way slowing down this offense that we see moving at a good pace without him in the lineup?
Yeah, him playing not 100% was hindering them for sure. Like I felt like they kind of rushed him back game 2. I don't know why they did that after we saw them play a really good game 1 and win the game 2. But yeah, game 2 and game 3, he really didn't look right. And talked about like how he was favoring it and trying not to land too hard, like on his knee and that kind of thing. So I'm glad that they did have the wherewithal to sit him out. And the Clippers came out hungry and aggressive. And I would say, no, they're not better without him. They're better with healthy Kawhi. Like he gives them the best shot to win a title, but they can win games without him. Like that's part of the reason why you brought in a guy like James Harden is you knew that your stars had issues with staying healthy. And he's a guy that could help carry your team. So it's a luxury when you have 3 stars and a future Hall of Famer off the bench and Russ. So they can hold down the fort, especially in this matchup. Where like I don't feel like Dallas beyond their 2 stars has a ton of firepower. You can hold your own without Kawhi in a matchup like this. It gets more dicey later on in the playoffs, but
obviously you get to win the game that's you're in the moment of, so you don't want to look too ahead. But if there's any way you could pace him going forward, that definitely will be helpful because if you find a way to survive this series, you don't want him going into the next one playing the Nuggets or wherever that would be in this next round, or Thunder. I believe that would potentially.
I think it would be the Thunder.
With him still hobbling around as he kind of is doing right now. So would you even sit him for game 5? Maybe sit him one more game and then bring him back, or you're not in a rush to play him right now?
Yeah, I would sit him again. Like I don't think just the extra 2 days or whatever of rest is going to have him feeling 100%.
Right.
It's kind of a tricky nagging knee injury with the inflammation he's dealing with. So as much rest as you can give him. I mean, if they lose game 5, you probably see him game 6. But if they win game 5, I don't think you rush him back for game 6 of 3-2. So kind of play it by ear that way.
I agree. So we'll definitely see how that is handled. But definitely has been very entertaining with or without him on the court right now. We continue to track this series very closely. In that, as we talked about in the comeback, it was largely led by Kyrie and what he was doing. And I just wanted to highlight some of the stuff where he was on the court. There was one play he was in the game, going down against 3 defenders, found a way to put the ball in the basket. At this point, is he the greatest finisher in NBA history? Can we give him that stamp now, or is this still a debate with him and guys like MJ and others who we've had up there for so long?
I'd say definitely as far as small guards, like point guard, small guard, absolutely. Like there's no question in my mind he's the best finisher. He can do that with both hands too. Like he's so crafty around the rim. Do it high off glass. Do it like as he did here, hanging and basically finishing as he's falling down. Like it doesn't matter if it's contested or not. I think he probably is the greatest like guard finisher like that we have seen. Bar none.
People that they put in that discussion off the top of the head is usually MJ. I think Kobe gets a little bit of that love in there, obviously because they're 2 guards. But as a PG, can you even think off the top of the head who would? I know I pulled this up off the top of the head just randomly, but what other guards are even in the discussion at this point?
Yeah, Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
for sure too. I think Steph would be in there too, as a small guard as well. But yeah, I think I would take Kyrie over both those guys, as
Yeah,
elite as those
it's
guys
different
are.
styles for sure. Different
Yeah.
styles for sure. But yeah, every time we watch him, there's this series of him plays every game that's impressive. We go back to earlier in the season, we had that crazy left-handed game winner over Jokic
Oh
to
yeah,
win
yeah,
the game. He just
yeah.
finds ways to no matter who's in front of him to put the ball in the basket, and continues to have the whole NBA world in awe. So yeah, just want to give him more praise right now. Also, just salute him. Folks had all kinds of doubts, and I don't know who's going to be around, and he's going to be in and out of the lineup, and all kinds of questions about what his performance would be when he stayed in Dallas. But he's been delivering so far, and again,
But
it
he
would hurt.
finally found a home.
May have finally found a home for a
Yeah.
little while. It may hurt if somehow they win this series, but definitely will be excited to see what more Kyrie has in store for us in these playoffs if he find a way to hold on here. So very excited either way with how this thing plays out. Yeah, just wanted to give him a moment, salute to him in this moment with the impressive play he had even in defeat. So yeah, something else I want to point out. Anything else with this series you want to point out too?
Quietly, like Luka hasn't really been shooting well, like from the floor. Like he's been impactful, had impactful threes and that kind of thing. But like offensively, I think, or defensively, the Clippers have played him really well. Like I like how Terrence Mann has gotten into him early and just like crowded his airspace. Other guys, like when they get switched onto him too, just making it tough on him. And of course, like you get more physical play in the playoffs, and they let him play a little bit more, and so you can be a little bit more aggressive with him, and that helps because Luka's not like the fastest first step guy, so he's not blowing by you. He kind of lulls you to sleep and maneuvers his body into the lane and that kind of thing. But if you're allowed to be a little bit more physical with him, as they have been, they've been able to like throw him off his game a little bit and kind of frustrate him. He's already a guy that kind of gets technicals and that kind of thing, so that's nothing new. But I've noticed that he hasn't been like the all worlds guy like in this series yet. Like he's been good, but he hasn't been sensational.
You ain't the only one. There was a tweet today. It was like, Kyrie, Luka, I brought us back from a 31-point deficit. Can you help me out a little bit? And he's just doing his moves, his little step backs, and all of that as always. And in this one, he made it. But there are a couple of times where he did that. It didn't quite go his way. So yeah, we'll see if we can get more of Luka magic, as they once called him, the rest of this series, or if the Clippers continue to find ways to contain him a bit. And hold on. So yeah, very excited for the rest of this thing. Also, another quick note: if there's been talks, and maybe it's just my timeline because my timeline. I enjoy the hate on social media just for entertainment purposes. But there was some talk like, hey, if this team goes down 3-1 or even beyond that, if they lose this series, is Ty Lue on the hot seat? Like, what does the Clipper team do going forward if they lose in the first round? Maybe I don't fully understand that, but is there any thought you have to that as well? That Ty Lue maybe has not been up to par with this squad?
Ty Lue on the hot seat is kind of strange to me. I feel like he's been good in this series too as a coach as well.
My timeline. If I'm completely wrong, I'll hold the L. But yeah, I saw folks talking like we got to make sure that this team is too talented, keep coming up short, and usually when that just happens, the first person they turn to is the coach. Similarly, as they're doing in Phoenix right now, talking about Frank Vogel being on the hot seat with that squad right now as well. So this stuff that's been crossing my path.
Yeah, I do
right now.
I do get that. I mean, because like coach is one of the easier positions to change to, like for a team that loses. Like it's harder to just get up and trade your max star or that kind of thing too. But I think that would be like a little bit scapegoaty, I would feel like, because I feel like he's coached a great regular season, and he coached
That's what I thought too.
So far a great series. I guess it would maybe like it would have to be like the fashion that they lost, like if they got blown out or collapsed or something. But like, I mean, they blew the lead today, but they were able to regroup and finish like a veteran team. So and tie the series up without their best player. Still, like I noted they do have Harden and PG, of course, but it is still without Kawhi. So it would be hard for me to like put the onus on Ty Lue if they were to lose this.
I agree. So yeah, we'll see what else is going on. I'm just throwing out stuff that has
Yeah.
crossed my path, and yeah, we'll see what moves are made as this series goes on. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff to pay attention to. We'll surely be back after the next Clipper game and Laker game, as we pointed out earlier. And make sure you stay tuned for it all. More fun streams are on the way. Going to the rest of the NBA before we go on to other things, I guess as we kind of do when we talk about Lakers Clippers, we end each episode and say by this time next week where we're going to be at. Taking a look at the brackets and what's going on just across the NBA and the playoffs right now. By this time next week, how are we looking with these brackets? Do you think we're going to see a few of these series wrapped up, or are we going to be having some Game 7s coming up shortly?
The only realistic Game 7 looks like right now the Clippers Mavericks, like who we just talked about. Cavs Magic is a possibility. I called this the NBA TV series, but I did watch a little bit of Game 4 because it was on TNT on Saturday, and I mean the Magic were dominating them. It wasn't really a close game.
I don't think any game's been close. One way or another, they've been blowouts. So
yeah.
Weird.
But it's a kind of surprising turn the series has taken because it looked like the Cavaliers were going to run away and sweep them potentially, but Magic protected home court, won both games. So that I guess has a potential for a Game 7 as well.
Real quick, something came to mind with that. If somehow the Cavs lose this series, there have been folks that have tied Donovan Mitchell. There's been plenty of ties already to the Knicks because he's been talking about them for forever, it seems like. The Knicks and the Heat. He's been joking with him and Bam and all kinds of stuff for years now, it seems like. But there have been folks that have tied to the Lakers as well. Would you want to see him in purple and gold next year if things don't work out in Cleveland in the playoffs right now? Be the right star to go alongside AD and Bron potentially
next to LeBron. I mean, because it's like he's kind of and no disrespect, I guess, but kind of a watered down version of Kyrie next to LeBron, where like he's the two guard that can like get his own shot and he can create for others a little bit, but that's like not his best attribute.
Right.
So like I think that fit could work next to LeBron. The bringing in the third star. You and I are going to be filling out the end of that bench, but
that could work.
I think the fit, I guess the fit could work, but defensively too, that's probably a bit of a problem as well. You definitely would have to fill out that roster with athleticism and wing defenders. But yeah, I mean, it would be interesting. You brought up Miami too. I don't think we talked about that. Like Terry Rozier has been out as well. Right. Miami. Like we talked about Jimmy, but they're missing two.
Boston got lucky. It's all right. I'll get back next year. Whatever.
I know.
It's always next time.
Though, especially if Miami takes Game 4, that can make it interesting. But yeah, I mean, as far as Donovan, he's a great player, all-star level player. I don't know if that is a championship move for the Lakers, but.
He wouldn't be 1A on the list, but he's on the list, and it's like, all right, if we don't get this guy, if we don't get this guy, if we don't get that guy, all right, Donovan, come on over, bro. We can make this happen. But yeah, I think that's kind of how it would go. But he definitely is very very serviceable and would be a plus for this squad. And yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about that more obviously once that comes around. But folks have been talking; they're already preparing for the Donovan Mitchell exit. He's going to be the big free agent move that people are looking at. So we'll see what his entry may be here in LA. So we'll follow that a little bit. But also going on from there, things of note. It seems like also, hope I didn't click anything. Okay, no good. It seems like this series here, the Timberwolves and Suns is all but wrapped up.
I tried to tell that, man.
Yeah, you tried to tell them, and folks that have been cheesing ear to ear across the board about just the blossoming of, I guess, of Anthony Edwards right now in these playoffs. The continuing success of that team as a whole, and on the flip side, I guess the crumbling of the Sun squad, who again was able to super team, and we've seen how K Super teams outside of Golden State have gone, running into yet again the same fate, losing early in the playoffs that folks thought they had to have a long run in. Would you run it back with this team as is, or what are your thoughts about this Sun squad with how things are looking right now?
You can't run it back like exactly as is,
but with the core is what I'm applying.
With the core, I think you can run it back with the core, but you have to bring in somebody that's a more natural point guard. Like, and it doesn't have to be like a star, but like people have like clamored for like a guy like TJ McConnell or like Tyus Jones or like something like that like is a natural point guard that can get these guys easier looks. because they are KD, Booker, and Beal elite shot creators for themselves, but they're just a very redundant team because they all do very similar things. And then they haven't gotten a ton out of the role players in this series. Granted, that's credit to the Timberwolves because they're suffocating defense as well. But this Suns team didn't feel like it was built for a title. They were talked about as contenders because they have the offensive supernovas, but beyond that, like, they filled out the roster with some veteran minimum guys that you hoped could step up, but they felt a little bit thin in terms of their depth, and it's showing in this round one series.
Something that came to mind, you were talking about their need for a point guard. There was a moment in the last few years where people kept pushing. We're now fully in the era of positionless basketball, and we're now in the era of everybody kind of just is free flowing, and however you want to describe that. I don't think there was an official term stamped for what this era people wanted to call it. But it seems like actually now more than ever, guys have very clear roles. And once guys have to go beyond their roles, as you've seen, trying to make Devin Booker into a point guard, trying to make Bradley Beal into a point guard-esque or whatever, run the offense, guys can't really. It's more difficult than people realize. And that label of positionless on defense, yes, with guys switching a lot as they do these days, that makes sense. When it comes to offense, guys have very clear roles and execute them as they need to. And when someone step out of that and be a little bit more and adjust and try to step into somebody else's role, it is not as easy as folks keep making it seem that it is. So, they definitely need to find another guy that can truly run the offense as need be and allow Devin Booker to be off ball, which he is better at, and allow KD to be more free-flowing as he is as well. And if they keep it together, they got some moves to make, because the team that they put together now, we see what their fate is appearing to be. So, going to stay tuned with that. And, it's some interesting decisions to make as that goes on. If Vogel, as we talked about with coaching, Vogel is available this summer, would you take Vogel back over Ham, or are you cool with keeping Darvin Ham leading the way going into next year as well?
That's funny. Like, I mean, I think Vogel is a good coach. Like, I feel like he kind of got scapegoated a little bit as well. What?
Did you ever bring coaches back? I can't think of it. No, I think
yes, but typically it's like the historical guys, like the Lakers brought back like Phil Jackson,
right,
kind of thing, and
but
like I wouldn't. It's hard, like it's like going back to your ex kind of thing, like with the. If Vogel were to do that, it's typically not the best idea. It can work. It can work. It can work, but typically not the best idea.
When you put it like that, never mind.
Not advised. Not advised. But I mean, like they're adults, I guess. But I don't see them being. I don't see Vogel really being interested in going back to the Lakers after being let go by them. As well too. Like, I won a championship title for you guys, and then 2 years later, I get blamed for the mismanagement of your roster, and now I have to look for another job. So if I'm Vogel, I don't want to go back to that Lakers situation. It's already like, it's not toxic too, but it's LeBron, it's the Lakers, it's LA, so there's a lot of eyeballs and scrutiny and all that too. So
got it. So, that'll definitely be nothing to keep eyes on as things play out later on. But going on the rest of the way with this, the playoffs right now, I'll hold the L yet again in this series, the Thunder and the Pelicans. I somehow thought after game one that the Pelicans found the formula.
Oh, you did have them going to like the conference finals.
And that with Trey Murphy elevating his game, Herb Jones rising. I thought Brandon Ingram, would find more footing. I thought these guys, and Zion coming back at some point, I thought they would be able to outmuscle a little bit this Thunder squad and show a little bit more poise than they've shown so far, obviously, and find a way to actually steal this series. But instead, the Thunder have been running circles around these squad boys essentially and handling business as need be to have the lead they have right now. And as Chuck said, but send them to Galveston shortly after Game 4. So that's definitely a tough look for them. Have you been following the series at all? What do you think about the Thunder's rise? And do the Pelicans need to potentially look at breaking things up over there with B.I. Being a guy who people have been looking at as potential trade piece, and CJ McCollum getting up there in age as well?
You see the NBA is giving them the NBA TV treatment for this, so we see how that series is going.
Prime
No,
time.
I watched game one, and game one was a battle.
Right.
And the Pelicans, it felt like the Pelicans actually lost that game. Like they had a chance to steal game
Hey,
one, but
that's what I thought.
and seeing these last two games, like I didn't really watch game 2 and 3, but they were blowouts, pretty
Yeah.
much wire to wire.
That's
And so, like it kind of exactly B2A. So it feels like the Thunder kind of just needed to shake off the nerves of being in the playoffs as a young team in game one. But once they got past that and were able to close out in a tough game, and Shea kind of had a nice like signature performance in the end, that they kind of just started rolling. They're like, all right, we got that one out of the way. Like we know what this environment's like now. Let's roll. And they've, like you said, they've put belt to ass now, and they've been dominating these games. I know Brandon Ingram coming off of an injury too, so like he's probably not 100% himself, but CJ's struggled a bit in this series. Not having Zion, of course, is like the major key because he was playing great basketball. And had that 40 piece in the play-in game against the Lakers, and then went down. And I think that kind of really hurt their chances to advance in this series. But I wasn't expecting 3-0 from this young Thunder team. So salute to them.
Yeah, very much salute to them. So yeah, just very impressive things to watch. I echo all you said about the Thunder's rise, and they definitely could go far in these playoffs, going up against. I think they could definitely beat all these squads that are on the way, as well as these teams across the West are looking themselves. So yeah, gonna be fun watching this thing go on. We'll definitely stay tuned to it all and have more reaction as things play out. They officially announced also today that Coach Denault for the Thunder is the Coach of the Year. They might have announced it before, but they interviewed him on TNT to let him have his moment. And yeah, just salute to him for what he did with the squad. They look great in the regular season, look great right now. He clearly is showing why he is the one holding that award this year. And yeah, excited to see how far I think they could take it. So good stuff with that. The last thing I'll ask, similar to the award, just throwing it out there, just something off the top of the head yet again. If you had to look with how things are playing out in this first round, if you just two awards in a way, if you had to give an MVP of the first round, who you think is on track for that, and then who would you say is your most impressive player in round one as well?
MVP of the first round,
or just players like a play of the playoffs. So you'd say these guys are positioning themselves there, but they could be going on a playoff MVP type run if you get anything with that. They are leading the way very strongly right now. Who would be that? And then of the lower ranked, the role player S type guys, who has stood out to you, if anybody that you want to give a moment to?
Okay. Yeah. Well, a couple names come to mind for the MVP one. Like I was about to say, Brunson just made a strong case for it today with his 47 in a win at Philly. So Brunson definitely in that mix for me. And then I mean Jokic, like thought it was gonna be a sweep. They didn't get the sweep, but he's been dominant. And as you said, like even in that loss, he had 30, 14, and 14 as well too. So he's been the MVP like he has been in the regular season. So those two guys definitely stand out to me in terms of on the trajectory of MVP of the playoffs type thing. And then in terms of role players, you got on there Timberwolves and Suns. Like I think Jaden McDaniels as like an elevated role player definitely sticks out to me for the T-Wolves. I'm trying to think if there's anyone. Can you slide over to the East real quick? Just
real quick before you go on, something I had in mind for the West, for the Nuggets, for the most improved, the impressive role player, whatever we want to call it. Aaron Gordon, with how he's been playing in this series, he has been a key piece into why they have been able to come back in games, where they held on to games, and he had a decent game in Game 4 as well, even though the Lakers got the victory. But with how he's been playing, he definitely would be someone who is deserving of note in that. But yeah, going on from there.
Yeah, bear down. That's a great pick. Just trying to think of another role player. Cavs, Magic. And then who else is it? It's Knicks, Sixers, Bucks, Pacers. I mean, those names aren't sexy, but like the Andrew Nimhards and the Aaron Neesmiths of the world.
That whole Knicks lineup is kind of impressive role players with the
that's true.
And Hartenstein and all those guys have been elevating their play. Still doing it without Julius Randle, and the last game they just played doing it without Mitchell Robinson, who got hurt.
That's true. You could say Josh Hart too, like he was huge in them winning that game 1 and game 2, really.
So there's a lot of good basketball being played right now, and just really enjoying it all. We'll have more, obviously, to talk about as these series play out. But for now, that really will do it. Anything else of note you want to talk about, or are you ready to move on to other
One
things?
last thing I was just going to mention, kind of for all the teams in the playoffs, but like it sucks with the injuries that we have to the star players. Like obviously, like we mentioned, Jimmy Butler and Terry for the Heat. Talked about Kawhi, like for the Clippers, and Embiid being banged up, Zion being out. Like it sucks that the playoffs like do get impacted by that too. Like we would love to see like all these teams like at full strength, but it's just like it's a war of attrition too. You play an 82 game season and then trying to win 16 games in the playoffs. So it's part of the game, but it sucks that we don't get to see some of these like at full strength. Because I feel like I don't know if the Thunder would be up 3-0, like if Zion's playing and that kind of thing too. And like the Celtics Heat is real interesting. If they were able to win one without Jimmy and Terry, if they had them there, it becomes a lot more nut crunching probably for Boston.
Just talking about the Bucks with Dame and Giannis both being out right now.
Dame and Giannis too.
Middleton's kind of hobbled all year. And it's a difficult thing too, because the big debate all year as well was load management and 65 game marker, and we're tired of guys sitting in the regular season. And I know the playoffs matter, but once you guys to play now, the playoffs, someone was like, dang, all these guys are hurt. Why aren't they playing? Like, well, you guys wanted to play it before, so now they aren't healthy when it matters most. So
catch 22.
Is there any solution in a way that you see to this, or is what
toughen up
right now the best in place to keep the game entertaining as need be?
Because like I like the rule, like I like the 65 game rule, and we saw a lot of guys play more. Like it definitely did incentivize guys not to sit out when they might have sat out some of these games.
Correct.
And like it's hard for me to blame like injuries on that too, because we saw for years like guys played close to 82 games and then would play the playoffs and that kind of thing. So, I mean, in terms of how you could remedy that, I don't know that there's like an immediate solution like that pops to my head, because I like I said, I like the remedy of adding the 65 game rule and there being less of the load managing. Like, maybe you get like, instead of like the sitting out full games, it's just playing 18, 20 minutes or whatever, like down the stretch, or like when you have things kind of locked up. But that kind of has to be like a case-by-case basis for each team, because different teams are in different spots where like they need to win or they can afford to rest guys and that kind of thing. But some of these guys just have nagging injuries or like injury issues like a Kawhi has had in the past, or Zion has had in the past. So it's kind of hard to avoid no matter what you do rules-wise. It's just kind of part of the game, I guess.
Yeah, I agree that the way we have in place, we need to tweak with any more. We've tried to give and take with all the rules and adjust as we can to best accommodate these players. And at this point, it's like, what more do you want from us? So, I think we let this formula that's in place right now continue to play out for a few years. And once these new crop of young guys, which is another topic we can get to, but we won't drag things on for too long, but just a lot of some of the changing of the guard, as these new guys are emerging, see what they have to say about things that are in place and what needs to be put into play for the next generation of guys in the league. So, tough for the guys right now, of course, but hoping for the best for them, and hopefully we can get back soon so we can see them put up their best performances in the rest of these playoffs. So, that now is it for what's going on in the NBA right now. We'll come back to these discussions. We'll talk more about changing the guard, all kinds of stuff that's going on across NBA discourse with these playoffs right now as more of these games play out. But for now, that'll do it. Of other note, going on beyond the NBA, most notably going to the WNBA, one of our superstars has called it a career. Candace Parker, after 16 years, has announced that she's going to be retiring. Just an amazing career. Have spent a lot of time with the Sparks and two-time MVP, 7-time All-Star, 3-time champion, Finals MVP, NBA first team. As you see, all of her accolades listed here. Just a true amazing player that we got to witness for a very long time. And just congrats to her for an amazing career she put together. And any words from you, Alec, about her retiring today?
Yeah, the real CP3, man. You see the resume, you see the titles, you see the accolades. That's a real hooper right there. That's a WNBA legend, a basketball legend. Going back to her days at Tennessee too, and playing under Pat Summitt. She's always been a star and an ambassador for the game. Like she's one of those like few female hoopers that were kind of known. Even when the game like was kind of in its infancy a little bit. She was like the Lisa Leslie's and Candace Parker's, like those were the names that you knew. And she like carried that torch for that generation and still was able to win a title last year as well, like with Vegas, and she won in Chicago as well. So she winning followed her wherever she went. And she was a great player and like I said, a legend in every sense of the word. So salute to her for an incredible career.
Yeah, she said she's hanging it up, but she's going to be around the game. Obviously, we see her on TNT and the great work she does there. And she talked about how she maybe wanted to own the team and getting involved in things. And in that regard, if you could put an WNBA team in a city, what would the next city be that gets a WNBA? I can't talk. WNBA team. My God, what city would get a team next? My Lord. Jesus Christ.
Struggling. Man. I mean, they got some of the good ones right now. Like they have the one in Vegas and of course like LA and Seattle. A city that they're not in right now.
Mm-hmm. They got one in Seattle. They got one in New York. They got Atlanta.
They got the big markets.
Indiana. Yeah, they attack a lot of the big markets. They got Detroit in there. They got Dallas. I think there used to be a Houston WNBA team. A big thing that people are pointing out right now as the WNBA is getting real popular again is that folks are getting into the sport and having a lot of harsh critiques without doing their research on stuff. I don't want to be one of those guys. So
no, definitely not.
Yeah, Houston did have a team. They had the Comets for a moment, and they won some titles way back in the day. And for whatever reason, where it just meant they probably moved to one of these new cities. But regardless, there are plenty of places that would welcome new teams. Surely, me being up here in the Bay Area, would love to have a slot up here as well. So that'd be dope to see. But just as she gets into ownership, I don't know if she's going to own one of these teams and be a part of one of the groups owning one of these squads, but she can add one into the mix. I'm sure this league is going to be expanding soon. It'd be great to see her lead the way on that. So
I'm pretty sure.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure Detroit Shock is not a current WNBA team there.
I don't know.
I think it's just the top 12. But my point too was going to be like, I don't know that the WNBA should be focusing on expansion right now. I think it's growing the league right now. Like they have the influx of the superstar talents that they're getting from this draft class. Mm-hmm. Growing the game that the teams that they have and the brand of the teams that they have right now, I think should be the focus. Getting those like butts in seats, because this is like the perfect time. Like it's on the precipice of really exploding with Caitlin Clark coming and the rest of that draft class it's going to be huge. So really pouring into and investing into the teams they have right now, and then getting to expansion later for sure.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. We'll surely be following more this season with how I think we're expanding and seeing what the Sparks did in this latest draft and just all that's going on across the sport. Seems like it's going to be a real fun time to continue to keep up with. So it's starting soon. I think they had the draft a week or two ago, and I think that they're starting there. I thought they just had their first days of their preseason
like training camp.
training camp. My God, I'm bringing all the terms today. Training camp is getting underway for a lot of squads this upcoming week. So, yeah, it's about to be here, and we'll be in tune and having some things to say, respectfully, of course, not like all these folks that are saying all the BS they've been talking about. We'll be following and learning a lot as the season gets underway. So, yeah, good stuff to watch. Any other comment on Candace as we started with her and her career?
Nah, salute to the real CP3, man.
For sure. I'll leave it at that then. So good stuff there in the basketball world. Anything else basketball-wise you want to address, or you want to go over to the NFL and what just happened with the draft?
Yeah, no, let's head over to the draft for sure.
All right, let me pull this stuff up real quick. Interesting draft for the Chargers. Interesting draft. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied today. My Lord. Interesting draft for the Rams as well. A lot of picks just across the board, even beyond them, that didn't quite go as folks thought it would. Most notably, with the Chargers starting off with, as we saw and reacted to a little bit on Twitter, Joe Alt was drafted as their top pick early on in the draft, and instead of going with the receiver, though there were the likes of Neighbors and Romo Dunze and others on the board. What do you think about the Chargers making that decision, and do you think it was the right one?
You laugh as you say it. No, like we knew that it was a possibility that they were going Joe Alt, right? Like that was a rumor out there.
I asked you a few times. It didn't seem like we actually were going to do it, but they pulled the trigger, and here we are.
Yeah. People have joked, like, because we've seen the clip of him, like when he got drafted, is like he's a big like down south lineman, no aura. Like this is perfect. Like he's gonna be a Hall of Famer immediately when he steps on the field. But no, like I imagine, because I'm not the biggest O-lineman scout out there, so I trust the scout's eyes and that he's going to be a generational talent at his position, and I imagine that he can be and will be great for the Chargers and will fit the scheme that they're trying to do. It appears that they're trying to lean heavier into the run game, of course. Like they brought in Greg Roman, they brought in some of those former Ravens running backs. And Harbaugh talked about viewing the offensive line as a weapon, of course, as well too. So I'm not furious with the pick because I think it will be like an impactful one. But I truly felt like they needed to go pass catcher personally, just with what they've done in trading away Keenan Allen and letting Mike Williams go, and Josh Palmer being the wide receiver one. Like I felt like they needed to really upgrade, and Malik Neighbors was right there.
He was there, so was Romo Dunze, but then going with Joe. Yeah. And I get wanting to bolster up the line, especially as they appear to want to lean more into the run game this year. There's been all the talk with Greg Roman and Harbaugh, and they talked about Harbaugh after the draft pick, said that he'd use linemen as a weapon as well. Now, obviously, you can't give him the ball, but just the importance of having a strong O-line, protecting your quarterback and others as they do their thing. So if he can be a sure piece for us, then great. But yeah, we'd love to have a star on the outside for Justin to turn to, with him being the lead of our group right now. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, he wasn't the only pick. We did end up getting a receiver. We ended up getting Ladd McConkey in the second round, who was one of the good receivers from Georgia for their squad this last year. I wouldn't put as good as he is. Yeah. Again, when we have the ability to get what potentially is a sure number one in Rome Odunze or I keep blanking Malik Neighbors.
At that point, like Odunze was gone. But
yes. But I'm saying when we had guys in the first round that we passed up on, in the second round, even right before him, we saw the likes of the Keon Colemans and others go right before. There was a slew of receivers that got picked. We saw the Chiefs traded up and got Xavier Worthy and others that were on the board there. Seeing them make those moves, and then us grabbing Ladd McConkey, as good as he is, wanting to have a sure receiver we can turn to. We'll see if he can be that. But I think from what I've seen from afar, respectfully, I think he's slightly a tier below what that number one we would need. So we'll see what other moves are made. But we'll surely take him. I don't want to come in just throwing all doubt at him. But just in regards to the heights that I've seen the other guys reach, we'll see how high he can climb himself. So did you have any knowledge of McConkey? What do you think of him being added to the receiver corps?
Yeah, the Chargers wanted a real first guy in the gym, last guy out type of guy, clearly a wide receiver.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's he's scouted as like probably the best route runner
Correct.
of the wide receivers available in this draft. So like they got someone who's clean and precise like in his routes and can
Real,
like stretch
real,
the field a little bit. Yeah,
real
go
quick
for it.
on that. I've seen that commentary as well, and as good as that is, and maybe again we have a new coaching staff and we're going to change up the offense. It very much appears to be. But so far we've seen that Herbert likes to air the ball out, and he's dicing guys up, but it's not. How do I put it? It's more so to air it out, like guys get into space and
Right.
they operate more in that way rather than guys really dissecting defenses and being crisp route runners as McConkey is. So we'll see what this means in regards to how the offense evolves. Again, he is somewhat of a deep threat, so we'll see how he was used in that regard as well. But I think leaning with him as number one potentially, or one of our main receivers, could mean we have a different style of airing the ball out this year. And again, interesting to see how that plays out. So yeah, he will be good in ways depending on how if he's utilized properly. So
I mean he was great. He was great at Georgia. Had really successful seasons there, championship seasons there.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, like he can stretch the field a bit too. So that's definitely a nice attribute to have when you lost that like in Mike Williams. But yeah, like in terms of even like the frame of the guys that were available as well, like guys like Malik Neighbors, it kind of it hurts like not getting those guys to where you feel like their ceiling, which is kind of what you were alluding to, like could be higher than what Lad's is. Lad McConkey, great name by the way. We didn't even touch on that, but yeah, I mean, again, I'm not mad at the pick, but it felt like we may have missed an opportunity to get a guy that could be a real like game changer at the position.
Sure.
But it's
and again, we're saying that just in regards to the range he was drafted in. If, for example, he was also drafted somehow in the 7th round alongside Brandon Rice and Cornelius Johnson, that's a perfect pick. But in the 2nd round, seeing that we need a number one receiver, we'll see if he can be that. But I do think he can work. I think maybe just because of where he got drafted, I think the bar may be set a little bit higher than it needs to be for what he may produce. So we'll keep an eye on him for sure either way. But yeah, he was one of 3 receivers picked up in the draft, as noted. You now see also here your USC guy, Jerry Rice's son, stays home, joining the Chargers here as well. He was a guy that people viewed. I talked about how Ladd might have a bar set too high because of where he got drafted. Brandon Rice, people thought would get drafted 3rd, 4th round potentially, and he fell all the way down to the 7th round. I missed the reasoning why for that. He might have had a slow 40s or something like that. I didn't quite read all that was there, but either way, he appeared to be a very good receiver at USC alongside Caleb Williams and was one of his main deep threats, as you can see in the notes here as well. And yeah, to the point about wanting deep threats in the offense to go alongside Herbert and all of that, I think Brandon Rice surely could be that. Notes here appear to say that Cornelius Johnson, who was with Harbaugh in Michigan, could be that as well. He's a big 6'3" guy himself. So these guys could be the guys on the outside saying things deep and doing what you do there, and then Ladd dicing them up down the middle, as we've seen somewhat. Don't want to put set bars too high. But originally, we saw guys on the flip side with the Rams, like Cooper Kupp was very technical and moved in that way himself and expanded into the role, the player he's become. If things can operate like that for Ladd, that'd be great to see for the Chargers squad. So, yeah, I think things can work out. Interesting draft. A little bit of a head scratcher, but in the end, now that the dust has settled and the emotions have calmed, I do think that things can work out in the right way for us. Do you agree?
Yeah, I was just when you mentioned Cooper Kupp, I was like, I got to get Steve Smith's take on Ladd McConkey because like he completely called Cooper Kupp like being a game changer in the league. So maybe he sees something that the Chargers might have seen into where he could be a real game changer for them. But yeah, I guess like I'm still like cautiously optimistic about what the Chargers are seeking to build. Like we haven't seen it yet, but we kind of are getting an idea based off how they've been building this roster that which way they're seeking to lean in terms of leaning into the run game a bit more than they have in the past. And but I do hope that while one of these guys or a couple of these guys might pop in terms of their draft picks, like I kind of hope that they bring in a more solidified vet like at the wide receiver position as well too, because currently as it stands, like Lad McConkey, Josh Palmer, and Quentin Johnson is not like scaring anybody. It's scaring any secondaries. So like I feel like they could use a veteran presence there, like too, like in the locker room that we've seen can be like that safety net, like for Justin Herbert, because I don't even know if he has that right now. Like he lost his in Keenan Allen. So yeah.
It just seems like this offense. I mean, obviously, when you cut guys like Keenan and Mike Williams, who were clear vets for this squad, have been around for a while. Yeah, it seems like we're going. There's a very heavy youth movement going on right now. So hopefully, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be a full rebuild, or we're going to be a trash of the sort. But it does seem like Harbaugh's been taking his time with the squad to develop it in a way that can come together as he envisioned. So yeah, we might not fully get as we can look forward, we might not have a high bar set for this team this season, but seeing the steps that are made as things go along in year one with Harbaugh, I think he's off to a decent start. People do grades and all of that. I'll put him in the B range or something like that for just off his first draft, and we'll see if he can go higher than that. But yeah, it seems like in a way they're going to kind of taking their time with this team and not wanting to rush into trying to fight for any kind of major. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it seems like Harbaugh's like, let's get the young guys in here. Let's develop this O-line. Let's make sure we got pieces all in place. It's not necessarily let's jump and just go get the stars and let's really get this thing going and spend all this money and all of that to get this team into true contention right away. So hopefully I'm reading that wrong, or hopefully I'm right in just the idea of building this up properly, and this team does go in the way that needs to truly go over the hump that we've been dying for this team to make for so long. So yeah, just as a whole, what do you think about the Chargers squad? How they're looking at this point?
Yeah. I mean, I think pretty much already said it here. Like I do think they're kind of taking like a measured approach, like as you're saying to where
I'm like, it seems like they're kind of just like, we're not rushing right now. We're gonna y'all do your thing over there, but we these young guys in here.
Yeah, it's slightly head scratching when you do have a talent like Herbert, who many believe like is top 5 right now.
Well, he's still only like 25 himself.
Yeah, no, he's young. He's
so like, young. Yeah, we're not gonna rush with him. We're gonna let him develop and do what he needs to do.
He's gonna start getting that big money like very soon.
Sure, but we have a bunch of young guys in here. Nobody else is really getting paid like that. So give them all the bread. Everybody else gets young and developing. They'll find their way. And then when it's time to make a big jump and bring a star in to take us over the hump, then we'll do that. But for right now, it seems like we're building not from ground zero, but from ground 3, something like that. Like we're right above ground floor, trying to getting this back to true contention. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I believe like as Harbaugh is known for is kind of shifting a culture of the team. Like I think he's building it like how he wants it, and building it with the players he believes like fit like his criteria and his like method of operating. So hopefully, I mean, because they brought in some defensive pieces too. Like they kind of like started hammering defensive players after Lad as well. So I like the defense was a major issue for this team. Like they've been bottom 5.
D tackle in, brought a cornerback in, brought another corner in, running back in. So yeah, they address pieces they need to address, and we'll see these guys execute at a high level, or again, it's just kind of a slow build as it appears it may be from afar.
So yeah, it seems like a bit of a rebuilding season that we're gonna get.
Yeah. To the Rams side, interesting because there was a lot of talk in the hanging to the draft that with Harbaugh being the Michigan guy here for the Chargers, that he might go up and go grab Blake Corum, the running back. But instead, the Rams are like, no, we're going to mess with y'all. We're going to grab him instead. And the Rams went and got him. They think that was in what? That was the 3rd round? Yeah. So adding him to the running back room alongside, I'm blanking on every name right now. What's the running back's name for the?
Kyren Williams.
Kyren Williams. I'm blanking on everything. I have notes of me and everything. I'm still blanking, but whatever. For Kyren Williams and others, surely will be a fun backfield having those two there. Not necessarily the muscle, I don't think.
Right, they're both kind of smaller guys. I didn't even realize how
he's kind of smaller too. We talked when we saw how Kyren at times got a little beat up, though he did play great when we didn't play great. it would be nice to have some muscle, also a bigger guy that can get those 4th-and-1s or whatever to help us out at times when need be, a little fire and ice or however you want to describe it, as backfields often do. But instead, we got another kind of do-it-all kind of running back in Blake Corum here too. So, we'll see how that plays out. But I think a good draft overall for a Rams squad who's a little bit further ahead than the Chargers are right now. They added Jared Verse, kind of help that D line alongside Justin. I'm looking at the wrong one. My bad. Jared Verse here as the DN to help that D line. They also added Braden Fisk to help replace Aaron Donald, who retired this offseason. And then Blake Corum, as you see, we had a safety and Cameron Kitchens, Brandon Jackson, another edge. Tyler Davis, another D tackle. So it was like, hey, we Aaron Donald is gone. We need 5 guys to replace him. So everybody get over here. They went and grabbed a kicker as well to help with in that regard. Guy receiver, center, and a guard to help that line, which surely could add some more depth. So I think they just addressed the piece they needed to, and I think the Rams still are in good shape. I ain't seen any picks or seen anything that went on in this draft that was a head scratcher from them. Again, I've been wanting to kind of be quiet and continue with their slow build. Kind of talked about the Chargers going to be doing themselves, and they're still on that way. And I think they executed as they needed to in this draft. Any comments on what they did?
Yeah, I mean, I like bringing in a whole lot of defenders, but the 2 teammates from Florida State, like they already have that chemistry there, and we're really successful like players that like in their Florida State careers. So like I think that'll like help in filling that gap that seismic gap that Aaron Donald leaves in his retirement. And as you said, like they were hammering defensive players later as well too, with other edge rushers and defensive tackles. So I trust this Rams like front office to identify late round talent as we've talked about. Like they've been able to identify difference makers in the 5th round in Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua on offense. And I believe they're in their ability to do it on the defensive side as well. And then you're adding that to Kobe Turner, who was a great rookie in his own right last season. So I expect them, like the defense was the weaker spot of the 3 teams of the Rams, but I expect them to be a hard-nosed team and make some. While it's going to be hard to cover up not having Aaron Donald anymore, like I think they brought in some good pieces here for the future. So I'm looking forward to it because I think the offense will be able to carry a lot of the load too. Yeah, the defense just needs to like not let the dam break, essentially.
Pretty much. They executed well in this draft. They addressed the pieces, obviously, mainly the D lines we talked about, and they addressed that mightily as we noted with multiple picks there. And I think they continue to go in the right way. As you saw with Kobe Turner's development, they show that they can get guys in there early and get them active right away. I think guys like Jared Verse and others can hit the ground running for this Rams squad that could again be quietly in contention this season, and excited to see how these guys can impact in that. So a little quicker of a reaction on the Rams side. Just happy that they're continuing to build it in the right way. Anything else with the Rams that you wanted to address?
I just had on there like question, like if you feel like the Rams running back room is one of the more dynamic ones in the league now. I mean, because Kyron was like a top 5 running back last season, and missed time, but still was very, very like efficient and dynamic, especially when he came back from injury. And then Blake Corum, like we saw what he did at Michigan and why he was lauded as a recruit. So I think while Kyron is going to be the clear one, I think in this backfield, he has to be. Blake is dynamic like in his own right, so that 1-2 punch I think can be pretty elite there.
I think we're very good. About the most dynamic, my mind's in a blur today, as you've seen. So I think other running back rooms at the moment you can put in contention. I know a few rooms have swapped around. We saw the Ravens added Derrick Henry. We saw the Chargers added a couple of guys from the Ravens and Gus and J.K. Dobbins and pieces like that. So with pieces moving around right now, I take a full look at it. But I do think the Rams have put together a good room so far. with Kyrie and with Blake Corum, and adding another guy in there that's a little bit on the bulkier side, I guess, to balance them out a little bit will be nice to see. But they definitely are going to be very fun to watch, and I think they can continue to execute highly this upcoming season. So yeah, I think we're just going to be in good shape.
His name, I think Zeke Elliott's available. There's been rumors of him like maybe going back to Dallas.
He's not going to Dallas. So
yeah,
I don't know if he's necessarily that guy, but I know last year he was real good in the red zone. So
he was.
He being a good red zone threat for us. We'll take him and make it work. I don't have any gripes against him. More so than I do against just the Cowboys in general. So
right.
yeah, I think him being here would be a nice addition. But yeah, we'll continue to follow things this offseason. And once I do more of a proper deep dive and get my mind together, we'll have much more to say. But for right now, yeah, things look good there. Going through the whole draft. Notably, we saw the pick with Michael Penix going to Atlanta. Any comment on that move? You thought that was a good move or a bad move with Mike going there as their first pick and going to be backing up Kirk Cousins, who they didn't even tell that he was going to be taking Michael ahead of time.
Yeah. I don't think it's a good or bad move. Like, I think it's a bit of a head scratcher because you brought in Kirk Cousins and paid him all that money. Like, if they didn't bring him in, like, it's a phenomenal pick taking Michael Penix there. But essentially, they're drafting the Kirk Cousins successor, right? Like, and I think the issue that many people have is that he felt like he was already kind of prepared to come in and start as a rookie with what we've seen from him at Washington. And so like having him like come in and sit for a lot of people.
Potentially.
Yeah, like potentially like at least 2 seasons probably, right? Because it's like the way Kirk's contract is set up, it's like the 2 guaranteed, like I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, so that in that regard, it's a head scratcher, especially because Kirk wasn't aware of the pick until last second, and as well as Penix's camp. But at the same token, like it kind of makes sense when you did bring in a 36-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury, and we saw how many teams struggled with quarterback injuries and had to throw in backups and third stringers and that kind of thing. So I'm not like people were like up in arms about this pick. And I was like, he's a great player. Like maybe it's not the best fit for him right now, but I'm not mad at it.
Again, it's not necessarily about him. It's about the
mismanagement of resources. And that kind of
thing. No, it's just doing it with the 8th pick when you could have went and got a Romo Dunze, when you could have gotten another lineman potentially to protect him. You could have got Brock Bowers, who was highly talented.
I like the skill players they have already, though.
Yeah, sure.
London and Bijan.
But to the point, when you just add in Kirk Cousins, like, okay, we have a quarterback. Let's surround him with all the weapons in the world. Let's surround him with the O-line. Let's do all of that. So you guys get the opportunity to do that with all these guys that are available here, but instead you just go and get his backup. It was like, I get why folks were scratching their head, and I was too. But I do understand that, with him having the injuries that he's had, you want to always make sure you have a sure backup there. And having a young guy that can not only be a good backup, but can be a potential predecessor or someone that could carry on from there. I do think that it may work out in the long run. But just looking at how the draft played out, it certainly was surprising one. It's been all the talk since it happened. So I think it will end up working in the long run. But for right now, there's gonna be a lot of folks like, I don't know why you did that, and all of it. It could also put some pressure on Kirk. Like anytime it's a bad game, because we know how people talk about. There are already tweets like, "Hey, they have a perfect setup now where you can let Kirk play all the 10 a.m. games, and Mike can play all the primetime games just in case." So we'll see how that plays out. But we do see at times that when we have a backup playing good, that could put a lot of pressure on your starter there. So hopefully things work out positively, and Kirk embraces him, and Mike embraces being that backup for the time being, and things execute as need to for Atlanta. We talked a long while ago about wanting to see Atlanta finally get one, and they've yet to do so. Maybe this duo can lead the Falcons back to glory some kind of way. We'll stay tuned on that. But definitely an interesting thing. Anything else in the draft that caught your eye?
Not off the top of my head.
Any kind of ties you want to pull from there? Go ahead.
I was just going to say shout out UCLA. Latu. You see him pictured there.
UC was 1 though, right?
Of course,
Yeah,
of course. Like we knew, we knew this. We knew that was gonna happen, right?
We ain't worried about pick 15, man. We trying to be top dog. It's just different.
We're LA Sports Report, sir.
SC, man.
LA Sports Report. We cover both LA teams.
Reggie Bush hurling over UCLA, by the way. Yeah, I did that. That's on purpose. So yeah, I'm just letting you know it's different on this side. But go ahead. Y'all got one. You gotta do your thing. Anything else you want to say?
We got one. I was just saying salute. You got a top 15 pick. He was a great edge rusher at UCLA, so salute. But yes, of course, like we said we weren't going to be fazed by the BS reports and rumors and whatnot from anonymous scouts and all that kind of stuff. Like Caleb was going 1. Yeah. And it was kind of the only pick that the Bears could make. Like I could understand maybe if they went Marvin Harrison, but Caleb was going to be the pick. And salute to him. He's been getting a lot of like unnecessary hate too. It's like making me like want to root for him more now just because of the hate. Because he's just kind of being unapologetically him, and I can appreciate that. So like I hope he does well. Like they're set up to be a really, really good team. And they probably like were the winners of the draft too in getting Odunze as well and adding that to DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and Caleb. So yeah, I think great pick for Caleb.
Very big fan of Caleb. We'll be rooting for him. Very glad that he's getting this set up and is going to be put in a situation where he can succeed. The other side of it is just that while I'm not, I was a big fan of Justin Fields as well. And it would have been nice to see them put a little more effort into surrounding him like they are with Caleb already. Seeing they're going and getting DJ Moore's already there. You're adding Keenan Allen this offseason. You're adding Odunze. You're getting the line, or you're getting some running backs, I believe. I think they added John J. Swift, who's a serviceable running back, amongst others. And they added some more pieces in this draft, too. Just seeing what they're doing, I was like, man, y'all clearly said Caleb's our guy. We're going to make sure he's fully protected. But with Justin was just like, yo, figure it out. And threw him out there to the Wolves. And then when he played bad, they got mad at him. So it just hurts to see it go how it plays out that way to the politics of sports or whatever. Hate that it executes that way. And then I want to root for him, but it's like you're on the Steelers now, so I can't root for you now. So I'm just like,
what?
I hope it goes well, but damn. But yeah,
I will say,
it was just interesting to see how this all has played out with it now ending where it has for both guys.
I will say, it seemed like they did start to try to put it together at least last season, right? Like the defense.
They got DJ Moore, the defense somewhat, yes.
Yeah, like the defense.
Didn't they trade a second round pick for Chase Claypool and something like that? Or was that the other? Did I flip that?
Chase Claypool. They did acquire Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was this season or the previous one, but yeah. But brought in DJ Moore, and the defense they improved and that kind of thing, but yeah, I mean, they definitely, it seemed like identified Caleb as their quarterback of the future because for whatever reason, it didn't feel like they felt like Justin Fields was going to be that guy, I don't know, polished enough as a passer. We saw how dynamic he could be as a runner, but the passing was kind of inconsistent. And yeah, it seems like they're really pouring their resources into Caleb Williams and the fit around him. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles a bit. I wanted my boy Josh Rosen to get some of that support when he got drafted, but nope, he didn't get that. So it's kind of how it goes sometimes.
Salute to Josh, but yeah, just something that's been I've just been following a lot as this all has played out, seeing how they both have been handled, and rooting for them both, even with Justin in Pittsburgh, hoping that he plays well still, bouncing back from Chicago and what they did and what Chicago now is doing with Caleb, and we'll be supporting him as well, surely, as his career takes off. So yeah, it's going to be a very fun time. We'll talk more about expectations and all of that as the season gets closer. But for now, just a good move by them that we continue to praise. Any thoughts on him picking 18 as his number? I felt like that was kind of
I didn't see that.
He picked number 18 as his number, which I thought was – I think there might have been a reason for it.
I was going to say, did he say why?
I think Chicago might have a couple numbers retired and all that kind of stuff, so might not have had to pick up the litter. And a few other single-digit numbers already were gone. I think DJ Moore already is 2, amongst others. I think they gave DeAndre Swift number 1, I think, when he already had signed earlier this offseason. So couldn't get one of the nice clean numbers, but 118, which still is a good one.
Peyton
But
Manning, right? Maybe he's a big Peyton Manning fan.
Always the go-to QE number. We only see a lot of 18s in the league right now. From I can think off the top of the head. So
that's why I said Peyton Manning. That's like maybe he's a big fan.
Yeah, that was years ago now. But I'm saying right now, we only see a lot of 18s I can think of. So he'll be the next great to carry that on. And that was something that folks were reacted kind of funny to when it was announced too. So just throwing that out there. But just a good draft overall. As funny as this is, as funny as things are, with the rebuilds slowly for the Chargers and Rams and all that, are we on the way to a 3-peat with the Chiefs with them getting Xavier Worthy?
Most likely, right? Like, I think before they got Xavier Worthy, it was already feeling like we might be on the way to a 3-peat. I mean, we said the rich got richer when they brought in Hollywood Brown too, which was a surprise. And while he's had his drop issues as well too, like he's someone that can be dynamic and take the top off of a defense. It's just another weapon for Patrick Mahomes. And then you got this is the fastest 40 in the draft combine, right? And Xavier Worthy, so he got another speedster, which to someone, I think Matt might have said it, like the speedsters haven't quite worked out for the Chiefs between like Sky Moore and who like the Hardmans and those kind of guys, like but it's just another weapon. Like it's just something else that can open up the field for Mahomes, and just his ability to get it to Travis Kelce underneath and that kind of thing. So I mean, it's hard to bet against him, right? Bet against Patrick Mahomes in his prime and Kelce and Andy Reid and Spags in the defense, who always puts it together. So
yeah, it is what it is. But we saw that the Ravens were like, all right, he has some speed. We gotta get a corner, man. We can't get Chuck again. We're not dealing with this. And they immediately went and got a corner, Nate Wiggins, who I think was the right pick there. Excited to see how he plays in our Ravens defense. So gonna be interesting to see how things go out. We'll have our predictions for the season once we get later on to the off season as things move along. But for now, very fun draft that just went on. And the comment on the draft or things surrounding the draft as we wrap things up here.
Just a funny note, because we talked about that Malik Neighbors was right there for the Chargers to take. That man looks sick that he got drafted by the Giants. They were asking him about his fit there and Daniel Jones and everything. Like, bro couldn't even smile.
Yeah. Similarly, Xavier Worthy got to KC, and he was like, "Dang, this is y'all locker room." Not literally. They had pictures, and him coming from Texas. College stadiums these days have all these college players, and all this stuff going on. So he's going there, and he has all the luxury rooms and all this kind of stuff set up. He had the KC. He was like, "Damn, y'all live like this."
Didn't KC got like an F on that report, right?
Award for all the facilities. Like it's very old school and all of that.
They're a real bootstrap team over there.
Just about football and all of that. They were one of those teams. So he got there. He was like, "Dang, where y'all at?" I think he still will do a good job seeing that the team that's in that facility execute is as good as they do. Excuse me. So fun stuff there. That's all I really got. And draft wise. But a lot of fun stuff that we'll sure talk about more as the offseason goes along. So, good stuff in that regard. The last thing for you, again, as things have picked up with the draft, as things have picked up with the playoffs, and all these things going on across the league and things, I haven't got a chance to fully deep dive Dodger baseball as much as I would like, but I know you've been watching. Can you give us our Dodgers weekly review right now?
For sure. Yeah, Dodgers been playing well since we last talked. I think they went 5-1. They were like on a 6-game win streak. They lost the game this afternoon, but been playing really good baseball in their series with the Nationals and the Blue Jays. Ohtani continues to be dominant. Like I said, hits the stuffing out of the ball. I think he hit his hardest ball that he's ever hit in his career the other day, or it was like 119 miles per hour off the bat or something crazy like that. And hit a towering home run after he got the boos from the Blue Jays fans, because I don't know if you remember in the offseason, but it was like rumored that like he had a flight going to Toronto and he might be going to the Blue Jays, but obviously they're a little salty about that one. It was always the Dodgers, though. But Ohtani's been sensational. He's hitting like 336, I believe, 7 home runs. He's been crushing it for us. Our minor leaguer, Pajes, who brought up a couple weeks back, he's been hitting 300 plus and a couple home runs. He's been great for us, which has been awesome to see. But the bottom of the lineup still struggling a bit. Been getting carried, though. I mean, because the pitching has been holding it down, really not giving up more than a couple runs per game. Right. And then the top like 2/3 of the lineup has been great. Obviously, you have Ohtani and Freeman pictured here. Mookie's playing like an MVP still. Max Muncy's been great. Will Smith's been playing like the best catcher in baseball. So they've been holding it down while the bottom of the lineup still kind of figures it out at the plate. But it's been good to see them back consistently in the win column, because for a minute there, it was like we were trading wins and losses. But they've kind of figured things out a little bit over the last week. But it's a long 162 game season. It's a grind, so it'll have its ebbs and flows for sure. But they're on a good trajectory right now.
Yeah, glad things are going well. It seems like they're not a major threat just yet. Obviously, the Giants Padres are playing well, but I think the Dodgers will maintain that lead, continue to extend that lead as things go along here for the time being. And I'll continue to follow closer as the summer goes along. Beyond that, I saw there was some controversy with the jerseys again. Are they doing an update to the jerseys? What's the full details going on with this? As I'm still figuring things out here. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Jeff Passan posted today that they got a memo from the MLBPA that the jerseys are like going to be, the issues with the jerseys are going to be fixed, because one of the major things was like the lettering on the back of the jerseys. The names are smaller. And then there's issue with like the sweat retention as well for the jerseys. Like a whole lot of heavy sweating. Yeah. And then there was like the pants were see-through and all that. Like people were making jokes about that, like in the spring training and stuff. Because you could see dudes' cheeks and stuff. Like, this is a family show, man. Like, we can't be having that.
What are we doing here?
So there was several issues with these Nike Fanatics shipped jerseys and everything. But apparently, like, they're going to be making fixes, because the fans have been complaining, the players have been complaining for weeks. And so they're going to get that fixed. So that's positive news for baseball fans everywhere and players alike.
Yeah, I saw that from day one was a big issue from a lot of folks. So to Nike, we were like, all right, bro, y'all been loud. We hear you. All right. We don't fix it. And finally addressing it a couple months into the season. Glad that they're doing that so folks can support and wear jerseys that they want to be proud to put on rather than they're forced to put on, as Fanatics had them looking as over the last start of the season, excuse me. So glad that's being worked out. Any jerseys you plan on getting anytime soon? Anybody on your list of Dodgers or beyond that you'd like to get a jersey of right now? Who are the notables?
That's a good question. I don't think there's anyone outside of Dodgers that I would think. I mean, because like I don't really have a current, because my last Dodgers jersey was Bellinger. I don't have a current one, so like of the current Dodgers, like I definitely would go in for a Mookie one. Sure. Or an Ohtani one for sure. Is there anyone outside of, I mean, because there's some cool, Teoscar Hernandez as well this year for the Dodgers has been great. So Teo, like that would be a cool one. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of outside of the Dodgers players like who I would get. Is there someone that comes to mind for you?
Baseball wise, I mean, just getting the Ohtani one, getting the Freddie Freeman one. Surely any of these Dodger guys will be nice to have. I was going to ask though, as I pull this up, we joke about it a lot off air, just about jerseys we want to get for guys. Or I always joke about I'm going to add a jersey to the list of guys I want to get a jersey of. Just in general, are there any guys across NBA, NFL, and MLB that you have on your list of I want to get this guy's jersey right now? That's awkward.
Is that a real picture?
Yeah, but I didn't realize who was in the background right there.
Yeah, you gotta redact it. You gotta cover him up, man. He got the Zeke jersey on too.
Yes. Go ahead.
But that's funny. Who would I want? Probably some NBA. Like I've got my I've already said like if the Clippers get a title, I'm getting a Clippers Russ jersey.
Yeah.
Like a finals jersey. I think. I mean, he's kind of been your guy, but like an Ant Edwards jersey would be dope.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the more fun like young players. He's got the personality too. That's just funny as well. And he's a hooper. So Ant would definitely be a high priority one. I've always joked about the Cream City Giannis jersey. Got to get a Cream City jersey for sure. What else? Is there any ones that come up for you?
You know, my list is nasty, so I'm letting you finish first.
On
my list. I still need my D-Lo Lakers jersey.
Okay.
I still need my.
Don't you have a D-Lo jersey?
I got two.
Nets, though. Okay. Oh my god! You gonna get a Dinwiddie one too? Dinwiddie Lakers? Nasty.
Because I was trolling y'all when Lakers lost or when he left the Lakers. So I have the Nets one still. I have that one, and then I got one off of what's that Timu or whatever. I got one. I got a D'Lo Wolves jersey in my my closet somewhere too. That's nasty work. But of the real jerseys, I do want to get one of these Laker guys. I may actually. He won me over. I might get an AD jersey. I've been hesitating on that for a long while. Okay. AD finally, I'm like, all right, bro, I see you. I'm willing to wear the jersey now. You're doing what you got to do. Salute to him. Team may get one. Ant is on the list for sure. I've joked with you, but I do like his game. He's not near the same tier. I fully know. But I have been following Peyton Watson this whole time. And
you have.
Over there. I won't be mad at getting his jersey. NFL-wise, I need another Lamar Jackson jersey. I need another potentially Marlon Humphreys jersey. I need I want an Odell jersey too, but a lot of folks have that one. So that's kind of one of just the main ones that folks get, the basic fan jerseys, whatever. But a few Ravens one for sure on the list. Outside that, football wise, I'm a lot more loyal to the Ravens than I am basketball wise and other stuff. So maybe maybe a Rams one somewhere. Maybe get a Kyron Williams jersey, something like that. I don't know. But beyond that, my list ain't as long as I thought it was. But Dodgers guys, a Laker one. Nice support.
For me, I primarily would get them for like guys on the teams that I support.
As you see, I collect vinyls a lot more, so jerseys ain't really my thing like that. So I already got what I got, and the rest is just kind of just for entertainment. So I'll grab whatever.
And it's hard because like I said, I typically will only get jerseys for like the teams that I support, and I jumped on like when Russ had been one of my favorite players, and then he became a Laker. I was like, this is perfect, and then we saw how that situation went, and he's no longer a Laker anymore.
Couldn't wear that too much.
Exactly. So it's tough in that way, but pretty much stick to like my team guys. But I would go in for a Cream City jersey for sure.
Are there any jerseys in the past that you wish you got that you didn't get a chance to get?
Like jerseys that I have to get off Alibaba now or something.
Yeah. Or just a throwback. So like in the moment when Kobe's wearing 8, I know that's obviously still a popular jersey now, but to have it in the moment of him wearing 8, well, obviously holds a lot more weight as well. Like I have a Carmelo Nuggets jersey as well. And that's just kind of a hood staple, whatever. Everybody kind of has that jersey in certain places. But
I have a Chicago D Rose jersey that I stole from one of my high school teammates. It's a solid one. It's a black one too. And then who was I gonna say? One I would have liked was like the T-Mac, like maybe like the purple one, like Raptors T-Mac one. Because T-Mac was like one of my favorite two guards, like one of those guys that could like go head to head with Kobe, like in that era.
Right.
I mean, Loki, like I don't know if I would have got the jersey, but like I was a big Bron fan, like his first stint in Cleveland too.
I'm sure you were.
You were too. You had the poster. Don't even try. Don't even. He's a fraud, ladies and gentlemen. He had the poster on his wall. Don't even try.
It was a Kobe poster. It's Kobe.
It was Kobe and LeBron.
I hear you.
AI would be dope too. AI jersey.
Of the throwbacks, I still need a Boogie Cousins Kings jersey. It's crazy even saying it's a throwback at this point. Still feel like he was just there. But that definitely was a top of the list. Outside of that, I have the AI jersey. I have the Melo jersey. I stole a Shaq jersey from my brother. I have a Shaq jersey on the Magic. So I got kind of all the other ones I needed to get, but just freestyling. I joked with you about Melo on the Lakers when he was here for a little while. Yeah. Wanted to get one of those jerseys. I joked with you about a few folks, but yeah, there's Rams jerseys I'm sure I could go back and get. But yeah, just as poster fiction jerseys and all of that, we'll see if I add anything to the collection anytime soon. So yeah, it's a fun thing I want to throw out there. Anything else of note you want to talk about right now, or you want to get to these polls and call it a night?
We can get to the trivia. I think the other name I just thought of too is like if Lonzo comes back and plays for some team, if he goes to another team, I might get like his. Yeah. Depending on the team, like obviously if he ended up like as a Celtic or something like that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, can't wear that green, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a friend I was talking to just all random stuff, and I'm like, Gary, you never wear green. I was like, yeah, never wear green. It's a sin over in these parts. Can't do it. Even the bringing this hat being green feels weird, but that's the most I'll do because Lakers are on top, so we all good. But yeah, as long as they don't go over there, everything is cool.
Yeah, couldn't bust out a Drew Holiday Celtics jersey. I'm sorry.
Sorry, bro. So I'm still wearing Lakers jersey to his games every time. Can't do it, bro. That loyalty is deep. So it is what it is. But yeah, a lot of people to pay attention to. If y'all have any comments about that, we'll surely react to it all as things go along. But for now, that really is it for our main topic of the show today. Allowed the show to run a little bit longer than usual here at an hour 45. Try to get in around this time each stream and have good conversations for you guys. And you guys will see clips on Ellie Push Report once that page is up and running. But for now, that really is it for today. As we end each episode with, we'll go into this trivia for a little while. I preloaded it, so we don't got to wait for it this time around. We have the Hoop Grid, which is Jimmy Butler themed grid today. 25-point regular season game. The Heat, the Bulls, Jimmy Butler teammate, the Sixers, and the Wolves is that. We'll come back to that. Going to the connections, we have a grid of Josh Smith, Mikal Bridges, Corey Brewer, Latrell Sprewell, Draymond Green, Pat Bev, Jose Alvarado, Benedict Mathurin, Metta World Peace, OJ Mayo, JJ Redick, who might be the next Hornets coach. You've been seeing that?
I saw that. Yeah, I don't know if
we'll just have more if more news comes out. But also you see John Morant, Charles Barkley, Giannis, Cade Cunningham, and Gilbert Arenas are the group here. So good stuff with that. And then the I Call Game is only two. You want to jump to I Call Game, or you want to just do this with this already up here?
We can do this first, yeah.
All right. So my first thought already, because of Gilbert being included, were like player podcasts.
Okay.
So Gilbert, Draymond, Pat, and JJ. My thought.
Yeah, I like that.
Bang! There you go. Podcast hosts. Going on from there. Cade was the first pick. Nope. I don't think anybody else was.
Yeah, because Giannis was late.
Yeah.
Ja was number 2.
Giannis won MVP. Barkley won MVP.
Right. I think that's it, though.
That's it, though. Some kind of rookie thing, like scored certain points as a rookie. I know, because I know OJ played real well his first few years in the league.
Right. Yeah, what other stuff could OJ be in?
USC, Pac-12 to the NBA. I know Benedict Mathurin was in Arizona.
Right.
Who else was Pac-12? I think that's really it of those groups.
Pac-12, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not that. Chuck went to Auburn. Ja. I don't know.
It's not a Canadian thing. There's not a left-handed thing. It's not a... Is there a dunker thing? I mean, because there's like Josh Smith, John Morant.
I know Corey Brewer is somewhat known for being one of the random guys to get 50-point game in his career.
Right.
Is there some kind of stat with that? Like Corey had 50 points in the game. Did OJ maybe have 50 points in the game at some point? I know he was a scorer like that, so he might have.
I don't know if OJ ever touched 50 though. Like definitely Giannis. Maybe Charles did.
Yeah.
Charles probably did, and then maybe Jaws.
Low-key, Josh might have, but I think didn't Latrell score a little bit too.
He might have popped off for
his little peak that he had, respectfully.
Yeah, the only other thing I could think of for them is like the T-Wolves, like because I think Brewer was a T-Wolf, Sprewell, and Mayo, but no one else. I don't think was a T-Wolf.
Where else did they play? They played for the Knicks too, didn't they? I think Brewer played for. I think Sprewell played for the Knicks for a short period.
Yeah.
Josh Smith might have played for the. I don't think so, actually. No, he played for like Houston.
Are there multiple undrafted guys? No, I think Alvarado's the only undrafted guy.
Let's go ahead and do our first hint. Your call.
There might be something to go to like top 3 pick, like lottery picks or something like that. As far as
you want to do a big hint for one of these?
Sure.
Your call.
Just the top one, I guess. So.
Lowest 3-point percentage. Okay. Lowest 3-point percentage. Meta didn't shoot a lot, but he didn't make a lot either, so he might be on there.
Giannis for sure.
Giannis might be on there.
Barkley maybe
on there too.
Yeah. And
I don't know if Josh would be on there. Maybe he is.
Josh's not a great 3-point shooter either.
Yeah. But lowest what?
Lowest 3-point percentage.
You
want to try Josh first?
Yeah. One away. Would you say Ja?
Ja, yeah.
That's not one away. So
all right. So Josh is a part of it.
Josh is in.
Maybe not Meta.
And maybe it's Latrell. One away again.
So yeah, it wasn't Meta. So maybe try Ja again, like with this group instead.
Take out who?
Take out Latrell.
One away.
One away. So yeah, it's one of these other guys. I don't think it would be Cade. I don't think it would be Mayo. I feel like Alvarado is decent, but maybe Alvarado.
One away. Dang.
Who didn't we get? Brewer.
Brewer.
Yeah, Brewer.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So our last 2 groups here. Mikel, Latrell, Jose, Benedict, Meta, OJ, Ja, and Cade. I hate to say it, but I'll say it. Is it like a suspension thing? Ja got suspended.
I thought of that, but who else? I guess Meta probably.
Meta
and then Latrell maybe?
And Latrell got suspended before.
Yeah.
Here you go. Yeah. And then Mikel, Jose, Benedict, Cade. Not the same draft class. I don't know. Any thoughts on what that would be?
Maybe like they made like all rookie teams.
Rising Stars
MVP. Okay.
Cool.
No way would have got that, but yeah.
Yeah, we would have got that, but we'll take it. We did get the other 3 somewhat with a hint. So good stuff there. The grid, or not the grid, the I Call It game. Mm-hmm. This is a good one. Okay. Let me pull it up. I can't think of what game this is.
Looks like it might be a playoff game. The way it's like staged, it feels like it might be the beginning of a playoff game.
Right.
So this is
Bulls are at home.
Somewhere between 2008 and like 2010 or whatever.
Right. Bulls are at home.
Yeah.
Celtics are away. Something like 2008, 9.
Yeah.
2009. Bang.
Yeah.
April 30th, 2009. April 30th. That's a playoff game.
Yeah.
First round.
Probably first round.
First round playoffs. That's probably Thibodeau. Wait, no.
2009.
Because
Either Thibodeau or like Del Negro, but yeah, I think Thibodeau.
And then Doc. Oh, we didn't talk about the Clippers doc or movie thing.
Oh, the trailer.
Yeah,
the trailer. Oh man.
We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
We'll come back to another time. Thibodeau. Nope.
Yeah, it's not.
So who else would be?
Maybe Del Negro.
Bang.
Yeah.
All right. Players. All right. We know we got more pictures now. We'll start off with Ben Gordon.
Yeah.
That's a good grid name at some point, I'm sure.
Sure. Kirk Heinrich.
Kirk. Derrick Rose, of course. Joakim Noah.
Luol Deng, maybe?
Nope. Luol. No.
Oh, wow. Is that Brad Miller?
Brad Miller's a good name. There we go.
2000. Oh, is that who's 24? I was gonna say Salmons, but Salmons have been
Salmons. Marcus Camby? No. He was there a while ago. God, that can mess me up. He was like a kind of one of the early stretch shooters. One of the kind of big ones a little bit.
Scalabrine could be on either of these teams.
He played for both not him, not Scalabrine, but the big. I'm thinking that played for the Knicks for a little while too.
Mm-hmm.
God, why am I blanking on his name? Is it like Allen something? Maybe I'm tripping on that.
Who are you thinking of? Like what type of player?
His name was like I don't think this is him, but his name is coming to mind. Allen Houston. No, that's not him.
Oh, that's an older player.
I don't know why it came to mind just now.
Oh, yeah, try Scal for Boston. Like, I don't know if he would have touched the floor, but just to cross him off the list.
There you go. Any more Bulls? We gotta get 12 total. We got 5 on the Bulls side. I think we can get 7 Celtics though, sadly. Ray Allen.
Who else was on that?
Let's go ahead and do these. Ray Allen, Rondo,
Pierce,
AG. No. Okay. Paul.
Maybe he didn't play.
Our go-to, Brandon Bass.
Perkins.
No. Leon Poe. No. Kendrick Perkins. Dang. All right. Maybe it's not going to be as easy as I thought. KP. Okay. We got KP.
Eddie House.
A few more. Eddie House. Cool.
James Posey. What's his name? First team all defense. Tony Allen.
Yeah, Allen. Tony Tone. That's 12 right there. Big Baby Davis, Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn.
Was that not Jared Sullinger? That was too early. 28.
Yeah, it's too early. He was on those bad Celtics teams.
Yeah. Who's this right here?
Is that Bogans? Keith Bogans?
Oh, no.
Who is that? The bald-headed nigga.
I don't know who else that would be.
It kind of looked like Marbury, but I know it's not Marbury.
Was it? Didn't he play there for half a second to end his career?
Oh, no, not in the playoffs.
2008. There you go. Yeah.
Oh shit, it is Marbury. Holy shit.
I thought he played there.
I did not remember him on a playoff team for them though. Damn. My fault, Stephon.
All right, that's enough. Tyrus Thomas. That was Simmons.
You didn't put Samus in for me.
I'm mad. Aaron Gray, Lindsey Hunter, Linton Johnson wasn't getting that. I only had one more Celtic, but we weren't getting Mickey Moore. So
no, we're gonna get it. Respect.
Last shot. It was a close game. OT, 3 seconds. Was it just D Rose?
If he was at the free throw line, Celtics probably got the last shot.
But if he made it, wouldn't that count as the last shot and they won the game? No. Oh wait, no, they probably didn't shot the ball.
It is who scored the last points. That's true. Who scored the last points of the game?
What was just D Rose first?
Yeah.
No, so they scored. So who scored?
Boston leads 3-2. I don't even know if they won this game or not.
2009, we said. I thought. Oh, that was 2009. They won.
Triple overtime. Well, yeah, I know that they advanced, but who would have taken the shot? See who's on the floor right now. Ray Allen, maybe?
Where's he at? Am I tripping?
Oh, is he not an option?
He's not an option.
Okay, so not Ray Allen.
Paul Pierce. Scott Brain took the last shot. What is going on?
It's a close game too. Like Rondo or Eddie.
That means in crunch time. Crazy,
right?
Key minutes. I guess I'm gonna say they subbed in Paul Pierce after this shot, and he shot it.
It looks like he's maybe fouled out because you see it's triple overtime too.
Yeah.
So.
All right, then Rondo, I guess.
Rondo, yeah.
Dang, Rondo. Yeah. All right, we got it. Cool. All right, good grid. 90%. We'll take that.
That's probably our best one we've ever done, honestly.
Yeah. Can I turn the volume off on this real quick? Can we just sim to the end? I just want to see this last play.
Did they win?
Okay. 20 seconds, 13 seconds. Rondo.
Stop.
D Rose was fouled. Good old days, man. Peak D Rose, bruh. Man. This is a trend on TikTok right now. Like, ask your boyfriend about Prime D Rose.
I've seen it.
Like volunteers, man. Like, you don't know about D Rose, man.
Fall to their knees.
D Rose was the one.
No way he made that. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, Boston held on for one more game, and then they lost the next one, whatever. Or the Bulls held on for one more game and then lost the next one. But whatever. Good game there. Mickey Moore, of all people, wouldn't have got that one. I wondered if Matt could have got that one.
No way. I don't even think Matt gets him.
Right. But yeah, good stuff there. Lastly of note is the hoop grid. I already showed you what it is. We can do that, or we do another NFL trivia since we just talked about the draft.
Nah, we can just do hoop grid.
All right, let's do this. We know Bulls fairly well. We just did the whole Bulls thing just now.
Right.
Bulls teammates. Bulls Wolves. We D Rose off the top of the head. We do that. Who else went over there during that Minnesota Bulls era that they had with Thibodeau? Who else was there? It was him. It was D Rose. It was I think
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. It was Taj Gibson, and somebody else was there too.
Oh, Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson.
But somebody else was there too, wasn't it?
Probably.
We'll take it. 6 is kind of high, but we'll take it. A random Bulls teammate. You already said John. Did John Simons play with him at some point?
I don't know if he played with Jimmy. You could try him.
2014. Nope, he didn't. Yeah. All right. Who else was over there? Who's a random player that was over there at some point? Who's a random guy that was on the bench in the last few years?
Maybe my go-to Omer Ashik.
Omer Ashik might have got a moment with him. 2017. Yeah, that's a good one. Bulls and Sixers. I brought up Ben Gordon. Did Ben Gordon play for the Sixers at any point?
He might have for a short stint.
Nope.
No.
Bulls and Sixers. Sixers and Heat. Kyle Lowry's there right now. Kyle Lowry. 25 points a game in the regular season. Or 25-point game just individually.
Oh,
not
Tobias Harris. Come on now.
For what? For the points in the game?
Yeah.
Did he play for the
Not for the Bulls. I don't think, right? Because he was Sixers, Clippers,
Sixers,
Knicks or
Clippers.
something like that. What was the other one?
He was somewhere before that. So I think he was lucky with the Bucks for early on, wasn't he?
Yeah, something else.
I remember that just because I think it was his rookie year on 2K. You would get him always in one of the early 2K My King packs, and he wouldn't do nothing for me at least.
hating on Tobias.
Yeah, I was like, get Tobias off my team, bro. He never does anything. So yeah, I remember that.
All-time bag getter.
Where you want to play him? Sixers, you said?
Probably either one works, right?
Yeah. 2%. We'll take that one. Sixers, random 25-point game. Is it possible that one time Eric Snow got 25?
Eric Snow.
Yep. Salute.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Going on from there, Timberwolves 25-point game. Didn't Corey Brewer have his 50-piece on the
Yeah.
Take that. All right. Heat. Let's go ahead and do Kyle Lowry, as you said, for now. We can always Hoop Grids let you replace it.
Wait, hold up. I saw this notification from ESPN. It says Bucks Bobby Portis Jr. ejected for first time in postseason career after striking.
I saw that earlier too.
Yeah. In the face. Oh, Bobby.
Bobby. That's Bobby for you, man. I don't know what to say.
Pacers won again, too, so they're up 3-1.
Yeah. Hey, they ain't have Dame or Giannis, so that's what it is.
Yeah. Let's see. Heat. Jimmy Butler teammate. Haywood, Highsmith, Oladipo.
We can go back. Then he played for a little while with who was the big man? I'm blanking on every name right now. The big man, not Haslam. No, the one that was always on Snapchat and all that. He played for the Kings.
Whiteside.
Whiteside.
Maybe. Yeah, I think.
Oh, dang,
maybe. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah.
All right, give me Haywood. All right, going on from there.
You got that Stephen A. Smith hairline.
Low key, we just did Latrell. I think he played there. No, I thought he did.
I don't think for Miami.
Did Kelly Olynyk play for them?
Olynyk?
No.
I mean, you could use Jimmy for that spot too.
I guess so. Just get that across that box. I mean, why is it low? He's literally his board. All right, and then Bulls and Sixers.
Did Pat Bev ever play for the Bulls? I feel like he was traded there but didn't play or something.
Wasn't that where he did the too small thing to Austin Reeves?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Cool. We'll take that. Good grid for today.
New York Times.
Another grid, real quick, just so you can see it. Crossover grids. Top NBA draft pick. Rajon Rondo teammate. JJ Redick teammate. Knicks, Sixers, Suns. Yes, no? No. All right. I'll do a connection.
Yeah.
I'll go.
I'm just trying to think off the top of my head.
All right. So here's the connection, the last one.
About to hit 2 hours. Damn.
Yeah. Snow, Ram, Fierce, Proud, Virgin, Hail, Bloody, No Noise, Deep, Bump, Fuzz, Intense, But, Static, extreme, and knock. I'm just reading the words.
A wild combination of words we got.
Yeah.
Oh man. Don't even no. I see you itching over there. No, man. Don't even hover over them.
No, we got people at some point. They got to be picked at some point.
There's a whole lot of jokes that could be made here.
It's probably some wordplay thing just to try to think here.
Yeah, because Virgin could like
bloody
go with a couple different things too.
What's the thing called? Bloody Marys and like a drink, right?
Right.
And then,
or even like the olive oil too, like.
And there's like a fuzz. All right, step back. Let me leave those alone. Look at just in general. Proud, fierce, intense, extreme.
Proud doesn't go with those, but fierce, intense, and extreme, yeah.
Fierce, intense, extreme, but
oh my god. We're not even gonna be able to get through this one.
Go ahead, man. What would be the last word?
Oh man. I know, like, so these are different words for like snow as well, like snow, hail. Is like, can it be referred to like as fuzz too?
Possibly. And then what will be the last one?
What will be the last one? No, I don't see a fourth one. Damn. Noise.
Fuzz, static, noise. No. Hail Mary.
Bloody Mary. Virgin Mary. Proud Mary. That's a song. Yeah.
Bang. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So proud is gone. So fierce, extreme, intense, deep. No.
Intense and deep, yes. But I don't think that would go with extreme and fierce, though. Ram.
No. Bump, ram, knock, and butt, like headbutt.
Yes.
There we go. Banging two. Banging your butt.
All right, man.
That's what it said. What you just reading it? All right. Deep, noise, fuzz, intense. All right. So
the Charles Barkley clip where he's like, when a guy's banging you,
All right. So the one I said, I think still is all here, right? Deep, extreme, intense, and fierce. That's what I said before. But then snow, static, noise, and fuzz doesn't quite make sense. Where's the swap?
Yeah.
Because I think these three, intense, fierce, extreme. So instead of deep, a little shuffle to help the eyes out a little bit. No, I don't like that. Okay, there you go. Snow, static, fierce, intense, extreme, fuzz, noise, deep, fierce, snow. Nope. We got 4 guesses. So deep, fierce, intense, extreme. Let's just go ahead and try it.
Okay.
And that's it. All right. That's what I thought. All right.
Yeah.
Static, noise, fuzz, snow. There we go.
I don't know snow, but yeah.
Analog TV. I don't know the TV.
I never heard it referred to as snow, but yeah.
Well, we'll take it. So yeah, there we go. 2 hours of show in the books for you guys. Anything else? Any trivia? Anything? Are you good?
Nah, I'm good.
That'll do it then. Another episode in the books. We'll be back in a couple of days following the Lakers and Clippers next matchups. Talk about where they now stand after those games. Hopefully, they have more of their series to be played out, and we'll be able to address that. But for now, a lot of good stuff here for you guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as you guys do. Make sure you show love to us across all platforms. So is LA Sports Report currently on IG, which is the main place to check us out there. YouTube will be back up and running shortly. We'll have clips from these shows that you guys watch here available there for you guys to watch as you desire. For now, thank you for all the love. 1600 is the show you guys are watching right now. All the ads first are down below. Appreciate you guys as always. See you guys again real soon. Alex, send off his final words are yours.
Why you put it on me, man? No, I'm good.
Anything else you gotta say? Go ahead.
Nah, I already said it. Salute to the real CP3. That was my
man. Salute. So yeah, that'll do it, y'all. We'll see y'all again in a couple of days. Appreciate the opportunity as you guys do. So look in the comments. We love talking with y'all when you guys are around. Definitely. And we'll see y'all real soon. I'll get my words together.
What do you say?
I've been stumbling all day. I'll get my words together. Sure.
I'd love to hear from the guys that were in the chat like before the playoffs started.
Don't hide now. Don't hide now. Come on back.
The Anthony Edwards fan who was talking about him being top 5 because I'm sure he's gonna have more ammo.
Salute. I'm with him. We'll talk about it. But yeah, until then, good stuff, and we'll see you guys again, man, in a couple of days. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Hit
that.